Hello everyone, welcome back to Think Rugby Podcast, Season 1, Episode number 16, and our first ever episode with a special guest, as you'll see in the corner right over here. Before we get into that, follow us on our socials, subscribe on YouTube, give us a like, give us a share to anyone that needs to see this quality rugby content. Also on TikTok, on X, at Think Rugby Podcast, and also Andy Mo's socials at Andrew Morrison and Andy Mo. Okay, Andy. Andy number one, the original Andy, how are you doing?
Not too bad, Zav. I'm sure there's going to be heaps of folk in the comments discussing how much they prefer this guest we've got on compared to me. Just for my namesake,
Yeah, we'll see. But of course, we've got another Andrew joining us today. So we've got Andrew McBean. You know what, Andy? Let's introduce yourself, mate, please.
Hi, I'm Andrew. Obviously, it's a privilege to be on the podcast. My first time in anything like this as well. Started out with TikTok videos this time last year, something like that. Ex-player of the game. Say ex-player. You still put the boots on. You're never fully retired, are you?
No.
Got into refereeing and just want to grow the refereeing in the game.
Excellent. So yeah. Nice little briefing of what we're going to cover in this podcast. I reached out to Andrew McBean after seeing him on TikTok and social media, gave each other a follow, exchanged phone numbers, got chatting, and I've been meaning to have him on the podcast for quite some time. It's finally came about, and yeah, absolutely excited. So we've got a few questions for you, Andy. We'll make it at least like interview-like as possible, make it as conversational as possible. So anything you want to add in that here and there, excellent. Even ask us some questions, although I think we'll be doing most of the questioning. Yeah, we'll just start off. So when did you get into rugby? Quite a cliche one, quite a generic one. When did you get into rugby?
I got into rugby at a very, very young age. My dad played for Murray RFC, and Kinloss to start with, then moved over to Murray. So I've been around rugby clubs since I was born. So 31 now. So I've been into rugby, started playing when I was about 4 or 5 year old down at the Minis. Moved into obviously the age grades, went through regional stuff at like Highlanders and that kind of thing, and then started playing senior rugby at 15. You probably wouldn't tell by most of my videos now, but because I've got a beer gut, but I was a fullback to start with, and then started moving infield as I got a wee bit slower, and the beer took effect.
What was your favourite position if you played a vast variety of positions in your time?
I loved outside centre, number 13. It was my probably favourite, where you can come into infield and kind of be that extra playmaker at times as well. Whereas if the 10 and the 12 go one side, you can sit the other side with the fullback and wings and kind of mess about a bit, have a bit of fun.
No, definitely. For me, I've played centre a few times, but I much prefer just playing fly half. I think there's a lot more responsibility at 13 in defensive terms, in one particular. But yeah, why refereeing? You say you played till you're 31 years old. Was there a reason to why become the referee, or just fancy a change?
So I started getting injured an awful lot more. I have a family. Son, I've been married for 10 years next year. My son's 11, and it's just, you're going play rugby every weekend. It was taking a lot of time, especially with like Andy up in Shetland. You're leaving on Friday at night, not getting back till Sunday. So it takes an awful lot out of your, because you're working during the week. It takes an awful lot of time out of your life. So that plus injuries, having to get steroid injections in my hip just to carry on playing it's not worth the risk, especially when you're kneeling down in front of boilers and that kind of thing day in, day out as a heating engineer.
No.
So yeah, that's why I got into referee. Well, I wasn't going to get into refereeing. I was going to try and carry on training and playing in the seconds team every now and again, but I couldn't commit enough.
No, it's fair. Yeah, I think a lot of us forget, especially like at my auntie's age, like as much as rugby is fun, it is a big chunk of your life. Like you have always got to bring it back down. Remember, it is just a hobby that at an amateur level. If you break your leg, like say you're getting steroid injections, it's not great. It's not, especially when you have got a family, like say you've got a young family and that as well. So, but yeah, I mean, I completely understand that. But I'm really like, one thing I've noticed with the refereeing side of things is they seem to, for a while, really struggle to get a lot of younger people into the refereeing side of things. It's not too bad now. Like I would class you as a younger referee at the age you are currently. So why do you think that? Why do you think that is? Is there any incentive, or is it like a lack of incentive to people becoming referees?
Believe it or not, I don't class myself as a young referee.
Okay.
There's when I was on a training course at the start of the year, and there's 16 to 21-year-olds, and they're coming more and more.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, like 16, you're getting your mum and dad to drive you to games to referee. I'd say it's a bit more difficult. The younger you are, the older you get, the more kind of experience you have with talking to players, having a bit of banter when you're setting up for a scrum.
Mm.
You know, the props love a bit of patter. Yeah, I'd say yes, we need an awful lot more referees.
Mm-hmm.
Like every weekend, we're getting an email saying, "Are you free this weekend?" No, I'm working, but I can be free next weekend. I think it was 7 games this weekend
Mm-hmm.
that they were struggling to get referees for,
Yeah.
and a lot of them you'll see yourself, like late 40s to. I think I've seen a referee late 60s, early 70s before, and the referees are starting to get older and older, and there is a younger generation coming in. There's a fair few coming in, and they're good referees, high standard, high level. They just need a bit of time and a bit of life experience to kind of get about them. But that's what the SRU are looking for, is really young referees so they can push up through the pathway.
That's really good to hear. Actually, and I
Yeah.
wasn't aware of that whatsoever. I'm just basing off like my experience. Obviously, I don't play rugby in Scotland or in our kind of area just now, but based off past experience, when I was playing up there, it was more like people into their late 50s, 60s, and even
Mm-hmm.
70s sometimes. You still get it down in England as well. Don't get me wrong. You'll get that anywhere you go. But it's really interesting to see. But again, thinking of it now, I have seen a couple of young referees, and I feel I feel like even though they're younger, I feel they understand it more. In the
Yeah.
sense of like the modern game and all the adaptations. I'm not saying that all that some of the older referees, like Jameson for example, I think he's a
Mm-hmm.
cracking example of somebody who he still gets it, very wise, and probably would
Yes.
be very respect referee in our region anyway.
He's one of our tail end of last season. I had a couple of higher, well, to say higher games. I had a couple of playoff games for Cali too, and Jameson was my coach for those 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that role itself, referee coach, is very underrated as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, he's got a lot of experience. He's got a lot of time, a lot of time for new referees, younger referees, and all he wants to do is help you improve.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's like the referee's coaching role is massive, and like referees, we're struggling for people to do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
would you say that it's maybe more? Well, I was thinking there with what you were saying about a lot of young referees coming through, but there's some of the older ones. Would you say it's maybe more like a referee coaches rather than the SRU trying to give younger referees like an opportunity to get a couple of maybe not even high profile games, but like just a a league game every now and then kind of thing, or?
No, I mean the opportunities are there. You give your time, week in, week out. You go through, so you start off with the introduction to match officiating. That gives you your opportunity. You join a society, you pay your society membership, and then the match organisers, they can kind of put you in a position to get that coaching. So there is the pathway there. If you want to commit to it, there is the pathway there. Like I did the aspiring course, which is like the next level up in the summer. And they kind of try to push you, like say Corgi, Colin Brett, Craig McCann. They're trying to push you to be as good as you want to be. All you have to do is put the effort in. So the opportunities are there. You just need to apply yourself, and the more you apply yourself, the more they'll recognise it, which gives you more in the future.
So just now you say you're part of the Highlands Society, the Highland region. I just said about how you can progress there. It's maybe a personal question. Don't worry if you don't want to answer it. But what's your ambition in terms of becoming a referee? What do you think you would like settle and think? Yeah, I'm happy and content with this level of refereeing.
I mean, you get into the game to enjoy the game, and even like when I was playing, I wanted to play at a decent standard. I never got to that decent standard. It was all right for the player I was. I think maybe could have played a league above, but that's about it. But I want to go as far as I can, as far as my ability will allow me to go. I want to go there.
Excellent, nice one. We got the next question, Andy.
No, I just think we've got the next Holly Davidson sitting here with us.
Not quite.
Okay.
I think she's a really good referee. She's done phenomenally well in the past few seasons.
Yeah.
And I'm glad she's getting the recognition she deserves.
Have you met Holly Davidson before?
I've not as of yet, no.
No.
But it's like the Sam Grove White and that kind of referee as well. They're doing really well for themselves, and I'm happy for them.
No, it's great to see, especially being Scottish. So, quickly talk us through the journey of becoming a referee from, I guess, the very, very beginning and the courses you've got to go on, and the final assessment. Is it a one day or is it a gradual over a few weeks?
So, when I first started, before I started, I just went down to watch the twos game, and I was speaking away to the referee, and he was like, "Oh, what? You retired now?" And I went, "I think I'm done," and I couldn't give enough time for coaching and that kind of thing. He was like, "Well, get on the referees. You can kind of keep fit. You can do a game or two at the weekend and still not be sore on the Monday."
Yeah.
You know, you're running anywhere between 5 and 7K per game. Just getting to the breakdowns. So I first went, I got in contact with, I looked on Scrums, which is the Scottish, looked for courses, and then saw that there was an introduction to match officiation in Inverness. So went through to Highland for the day, did the training course, and pretty much they're talking to you about different laws, variations. What would you do in this situation? What card is this? Yellow, red, that kind of thing. I then did a few under 15s to under 18s games with coaches after getting in tow with the Highland Society. So had George Whitecross, which is one of the local boys that does the organisation of games. Referees go into different games. So he then got me into like say a Cali 3, Cali 2, the lower level games where you can kind of see where you're going. And over the tail end of last season, they said, we think you should go for the aspiring coach, the aspiring referees course. Went down to Lathallen School for that. And that was a course over 2 days. And then you get moved up levels. So I think at the minute I'm a level 5 referee. So obviously you start off low, start moving up higher and higher. So I think the next one is one where the society puts you forward for it.
Okay.
So I think it's we had a couple of referees go up into the national leagues this past season, which was Matt Gregg and Trevor McIntosh, and they've been doing National 4, and I had it on I think it was on the Highland Society referee page. They were part of the Geary Women's Premiership game a couple of weeks ago. So Matt Gregg in the middle and then Trevor on the sides.
Nice.
So yeah, it's the barrier's there to punch through. You just need to apply yourself.
Okay, nice. What would you say is moving on from that part? Thank you very much for that. I was really well detailed and I take great value from that. What would you say is like the hardest part to being a referee? So I mean, I bet you've got
to be dealing with folk like Gogs, our ex-teammate.
Oh, yeah. He is, he's a character. I had Banff against Gordonians start of last season, and he was stood on the sidelines because he's retired, isn't he?
Yeah.
And that's forward pass. I just walked up to him with my whistle and says, "Crack on," because you get these boys, but you also need to try and have a laugh with them at the same time. I think the more you try and make light of it and have a joke with it, but at the same time be stern.
Yeah.
You can. It's that fine line. They want to. They're constantly gurning, but you can have a laugh at the same time about it. Much and such when you're a player, you've got the spectators on the sideline, and they've always got an opinion. It's up to you whether or not you take it in.
I missed the name, but I'm assuming you said Gogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Played against him a lot.
Yeah. Some boy was unbelievable. Also, well, I mean, as we're on the topic about getting a bit of abuse, you see abuse on the TV and that. You do see it start creeping here and there, but it's like it makes you try to deal with it. But I mean, what was that scenario that happened not long ago with Luke Pearce? Was it the Munster game? Yeah, Andy will help me.
Yeah, it was whoever Munster was playing this weekend, but I can't remember exactly what it was Luke Pearce was saying, but he completely owned the situation.
We'd pushed the Munster player had come in and pushed him into the boardings at the side, and then the 10 was mouthing off.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. It's like trying to deal with that situation. Of course, he's a professional referee, and then coming back like you're amateur working your way up. It's like it must take a lot of for one ball, especially if you're up against like a big burly like second row or something. But like to have the composure as well to try to calm the situation down and calm them down. It's like have you got any like kind of tactics, if you like, if that's the word I'm looking for, tactics or tricks or how to calm aggressive players down, or is it just shut up, get on with it?
It's not so much. You've got to go in to try and diffuse the situation. It's not like you're a player anymore where you're going in, you're like a 9 trying to light the fuse and run away and let the big boys deal with it. You've got to go in with maybe 2 or 3 scenarios in your head, what you think's best to calm it down. You got to remember at the end of the day, you're dealing with the captain as well, so it's not just about your responsibility as a referee, it's about his responsibility as captain of the team.
Yeah.
He's the one that has to lead his team. He's the responsible person.
Yeah. No, that's fair. So, nice. What would you say? Actually, I'll give you two questions. Put you on the spot a little bit here, because this is off the cuff. What's your favourite game? A bit of fun. What's your favourite game that you've refereed, if you've got one? What is probably your most difficult game refereeing, if one comes to mind?
I'm trying to think.
No, it's
would there be any games out there that, you know, like the SRU are looking for folk and for refereeing games, and you're just like, no, I'd rather not touch that? Like any two specific clubs you'd rather not?
No, I've not really come across any as of yet. Like you said, I'll go to Banff. They were one of the teams that people didn't want to, because they just got abuse. They have turned the tables this season, and they're really good. I've only heard good things about them this season, so they have turned a page. I've had a couple where you get the odd spectator, and that kind of puts a downer on it. But at the same time, you've got time after the game to reflect on what you've done right and what you've done wrong, or what you think you've done right and wrong. And if you think, oh, I could have done better there, and you think, what did you do in that situation that made it wrong? And then you can reflect on that and make it better in the next game. So you're never going to get every decision right.
Yeah.
There's a few, but yeah, I think my favourite game to referee so far would have been the Cali 2 playoff between Kinloss and the Police.
Okay.
I think I had a good game in that one. Police had other opinions, because they didn't just lose, they got heavily beaten. But I mean, I've got them again this weekend, so we'll see what happens.
Nice. Okay, we've got one last question for you, and I mean, I think it could be for certain reasons, it could be an obvious one, but do you miss playing?
Yeah.
No,
I was supposed to be playing at the weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was supposed to be playing. I've got good friends at Turriff.
Oh,
and I know the presidents of Turriff, John and Lindsay Hester. And I was going to play for them against Huntly, just a bit of experience off the bench or something like that. But unfortunately, Huntly didn't have a team, so that got cancelled. But yeah, I'll put the boots on every few months just to scratch an itch.
See if the old dog still got it.
Yeah. No, it's a game that if I was sat in the house just watching on the TV, I'd be kicking myself.
Yeah,
that's why I got into refereeing.
Nice, excellent to hear that. Thank you very much, Andrew. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Before you do enjoy the rest of your evening, we like to play a little game as tradition, and me and Andy's made it a competition. There's a forfeit to the lose of this game, which is not a very nice one, but nevertheless, it's Guess Who. So we've got 5 clues. We've slightly adapted it to this week because we've got yourself as a special guest. So Andy, actually, it was Andy's idea, so let Andy explain what the adaptation is. Explain the game first, and then how we're going to adapt it to involve Andrew.
So Guess Who is a game in which we think of a player and give out 5 clues to kind of hint at who it is we're thinking of. Then with the 5 clues, you gradually get 1 less point. So the first clue, you would, if you got it right miraculously from there, you would get 5 points. 2, question 2 or clue 2, it would be 4, 3, you would have 3, and so on and so forth. So this week, to accommodate you coming on, we thought, well, we get our kind of thought our guest first. Yeah, and then if it's not right or whatever, you also put in your guess, and if we are wrong but you get it right and we get it on the next one or whatever, then we get like minus a point, if that makes any sense, than what we would usually do.
So don't worry about the maths and the arithmetic behind it. Just try to guess the player before one of us does, okay?
That's good, because I failed school.
Nice, okay. You know what? I'll do my player first. So Andy gets a guess first, being the host, and then Andy number 2 will get the second guess. Okay. The adaptation we've made is we've done it in like a kind of order. So the first clue is going to be the age, and then the next clue will be something different. So age, first clue. So my player's age is 26 years old.
Yeah. Struggling already. Kyle Stein.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
He's older than that, is he?
I think he's a little bit, yeah.
Probably say Adam Hastings. Round about that age, is he?
Close to the age, but incorrect. Okay, this will help. Clue number 2 is nationality. Irish.
Gary Ringrose.
Incorrect.
He's older.
He's older, is he?
He's a fair bit older, yeah.
He's in close to 30 now.
I think he's about 28, 29 now. Yeah.
I'd go Ben Healy.
Incorrect.
I did think of him as well, to be fair, but
That's a very good guess. I think he's 25. 3 is club. Leinster.
Oh, I've got to fucking get it now.
So that takes away about 3 players.
This is annoying me. It's not Porter, is it?
No.
No, it's not him.
Jordan Larmour.
Incorrect. 4th clue is position.
Surely get it now.
Hooker.
Hooker. Oh, now I'm going to embarrass myself.
Hooker for Leinster.
It's not Dan Sheehan, is it? No. Damn.
Ronan Kelleher, is it?
Ronan Kelleher. Here we go. Andy's been beat by Andy. Dear. So that was in clue number 4. Andy, I'll let you do the math on that one. But yeah, so pro show, Andy Moore, you were climbing back. I think you were a good 8 points behind me at one point, and now you're just like 1.5 points behind. But
that wasn't
I've got
an easy
a massive chance to pull away this week. But I know that Andy's a bit bitter, so I think he's going to F me over a little bit. But we'll see how we go. Let's go then, Andy.
That wasn't easy.
No. See, when you're on the spot, it's horrible, isn't it? Awful. Go on in, Andy.
No, no. Views were down last week. Nobody will see him. Okay, so my player, clue number 1, I am 34 years old.
Bundyaki.
Incorrect.
Owen Farrell, is he that old?
I don't think he's quite old, but no, it's not him.
He's 32.
Number 2, my nationality is New Zealand.
I don't think he stopped playing. No. Could be. Sam Kane.
Incorrect.
Or Cody Taylor.
Incorrect.
Come on, club. This will help.
The club I play for is La Rochelle.
What's his name? I know it.
Yeah.
It's Carvalho.
That is the correct answer.
Got it. Scrummy, is it? Scrum half?
Yeah, scrum half.
Carvalho. You know what? He would have had a fantastic career for the All Blacks if Alan Smith didn't exist. Oh, he's an absolute baller, like. But what was your clue? What was your guess for that one? If you had somebody in mind, Andrew?
Was there I couldn't remember his name, but I think there was a centre, New Zealand centre that played for them, wasn't it? Can't mind his name.
Quite possible. There's a few, but no.
Or maybe a couple of years ago. I think he just came over. Was it from the Hurricanes?
So how many points? So how many points did I get? 3 points there.
You get 3 points.
And how many did you get?
I only got 1 point.
Okay, right. Well, that would make the score 33 points to 29.5. I think it would be. But anyway, I really enjoyed that. Sorry for racking your brains so much, Andrew. I felt quite.
I know, I've had a hard day at work.
But yeah, now we've got one other person that knows how it feels to be under the pressure, especially like oh, it's horrible, honestly, but it's also amazing. When you guess it, it's amazing at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's us for this weekend, folks. Thank you very much, and once again, thank you, Andrew McBean. Don't forget to follow his TikTok. It's just Andrew McBean, is that right?
Yeah, just Andrew McBean.
Andrew McBean, quality referee. I've been refereed and also played against Andrew as well in the past, a good 5-6 years ago. But more recently, was refereed by him at the Banff Sevens competition when I played for GOG Select Seven side. So thank you very much for doing that and being a great referee there, and also being a great guest today on the Think Rugby podcast.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to say, Andy Moe, before we shoot off?
No, just that was what's better than 2 Doric boys speaking about rugby on a podcast. We've got a third.
Exactly.
You two are more chukta than I am, though.
Oh, I am offended with that, Ian.
I love it.
The last time you ever invited on.
Next time. Okay then. Right. Thank you very much, Andrew. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Think Rugby podcast over and out. See you in the next one.
Cheers.